Today's topic is finding your purpose. I highly recommend you take notes because this might help you answer the question, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? And now you're probably wondering, how do I know that? How can I possibly tell you about what you're meant to do when I don't even know a thing about your life? Well, let's say it's not about me knowing exactly what you need to do. It will be more about triggering that feeling that will leave you knowing what you want to do or don't want to do, which for me is just as valuable because knowing what you don't want to do is also knowing what you want. So that's the whole point of this episode, so stick with me. Actually, just a quick note before I start. You notice a lot of the stuff I will be telling in my episodes relates to me and my experiences. Not that I just like talking about myself. Sadly, my life isn't that interesting. If you came for entertainment, well, you can go, bye. It's literally only because it's very likely that you find yourself in a similar situation, and sometimes it's just easier to hear someone going through the same stuff. And also, it's about authenticity. I'm not here to tell my stories for the sake of telling them, otherwise, I just write a book. You wouldn't even have to bear with my voice. What I want you to take from this podcast is food for thought. Take whatever you feel is suitable to you, whether it's just one word, the first or the last sentence, I don't care. Just mold it to your experiences, make it your own. As long as it makes you think just a little or take action, that's even better. My words might be what you needed to hear just at the right time. That's why I'm doing it. I started this podcast again. I've said that in the first episode because I heard something I needed to hear and that triggered me. So I really hope that has the same effect on you. Okay, I could be talking about this for hours, but let's just get to it. Basically, whenever I sat down and thought to myself, Zinab, what is it that makes you happy or makes you feel alive? And I'd just be sat there like, well, this makes me happy or that makes me happy. But then that would be it. Like, even though I thought I had an answer by just saying it or writing it down, an hour later, I'd still be asking myself the same question. Because I think the answer is not on a sheet of paper, and I'm daring to say it's not necessarily in your head either. Not because you think that a specific thing makes or would make you happy means it's the ultimate thing or way to happiness or fulfilled life or whatever you call it. It's something you feel. And don't get me wrong, of course, if you know yourself a minimum, you know when you're happy doing something, but sometimes that thing is temporary or is, I'm daring to say, too average. Like, you will do whatever, but that would just leave you feeling okay, just good enough, just as long as you're not miserable, that's fine. But to me, that's not it. To me, that's more than that. When you find purpose, you will feel some sort of fire in your guts. Like, literally fire. I don't have another word. It's a nice and actually very scary feeling because it's overwhelming and consuming. And it should be overwhelming. I hope you get what I mean by that later. Now, coming back to the main point, how do you find out about that feeling? The simple answer to that question, the one I have for you, is pay attention to where your energy goes. That's literally it. Energy doesn't lie. And now you want to kill me because you've waited all this time for me to tell you, hey, pay attention to where your energy goes, you know? Like, are you kidding me? I could have got that myself. No, but I say it again because I think we don't pay attention enough. We're often caught in a situation and rarely we stop to check how we are actually feeling about the thing. Or we think about it, but we don't dive deeper. Like, right, what does that actually mean? What am I actually doing here? And I will help you get to that. First thing I want you to do, if you have time to do it with me right now, do it because I'm dead serious about it. But if not, just come back to this episode and maybe do it later. Do this little exercise. But first thing I want you to do, I want you to stop and think about what you're currently doing. As in, not right now, but your main occupation, what you do in your daily life. And then I want you to project yourself in the future. I don't know, maybe in 3 or 5 years. I think that sounds reasonable. And once you've done that, the question is, how does that make you feel? Like, genuinely. Sit with the feeling. What does your stomach and your guts tell you? Like, genuinely again. Do you feel excited? Do you see yourself doing what you're currently doing and you feel like you could do that for 10, 15 more years? Do you feel amazing, powerful, and ready to explore even more? Like you have so many options in front of you and it looks like it's only the beginning? Or do you feel miserable, sad, and depressed? Like just the thought of it makes you sick and your chest is getting tight and you want to die right now. Or maybe it's not that bad, but you're telling yourself, well, I wish by then I'll be doing something else, or, I won't be stuck, or something like that. I promise you it sounds very vague. I'm 100% aware of that. But by paying attention to this and maybe even writing it down, I don't know, it's the beginning of you making a change in your life, whether you have a very precise feeling or thoughts or not. You're forcing your mind to start doing the work. And we all know that the hardest thing to do when we want to start something is the start. So think about it again. How does that genuinely make you feel? And again, whether you know what to do with the answer or not right now, you're kind of already inevitably creating multiple roads for you to take. You're creating a range of possibilities in front of you. You will start seeing things differently, very differently, and making different decisions, or at least give you some sort of direction. If projecting yourself in the future is too scary, maybe just go back to the present and pay attention to where your energy goes again. Pay attention to your energy when you're working. If you are, I'm just taking this as an example. Where is your energy? Is your energy off? Are you working just like a robot? Do you feel like you need to drag your feet to go to work? How do you feel when your alarm goes on and you have to get up? Is that motivation, or are you just being a machine and you get up just because your job pays the bills, basically? Or do you feel amazing? Very personal note, like I said in the beginning, that little exercise is what made me start my podcast. I don't want to define myself by my job. So when I ask myself this and try to picture myself in 5 years, asking myself, Zinab, how do you feel about doing this, like in 5 years? Do you see yourself working for your whole life, 9 to 5, basically counting money for rich people? But I work in finance. And the answer was hell no. Then again, it's not necessarily even thinking about the future. I just started to pay attention to where my energy goes while I'm working. And it's just not always there. I would be working and my energy would go into, I don't know, thinking about my next fitness workout or something stupid like that. So I started paying more attention to more things. Like, okay, if my energy is not in this, where is it? And you really have to make an effort to try and notice how you feel when you do something. And then you'll know that's it when, like I said earlier, you'll feel some sort of fire in your guts. If you have another word, just let me know because I don't find anything else. When it makes you so excited about doing it or doing it again that it doesn't literally let you sleep. And you don't know what to do with it. You don't know what to do with the feeling. You just know it's the right thing. That's where you find fulfillment. You could do that all day long. You would be just fine. It will drive you and make you feel looking forward to doing it again. When you think of it, you will also think, I really like this version of myself. I like when I'm thinking like that. I like when I do that. And I could see myself doing that. The key point I want to raise, though, is that your purpose won't necessarily present itself to you by itself. Like, I don't think you'll ever wake up one day and be like, all right, now I know, unless you had a night revelation or something. But you need to create the opportunities for it to happen. If you listen to the first episode, I said that I firmly believe that the more opportunities we create for ourselves, the luckier we become. Because once you start understanding that, your life changes. You don't find purpose just like that. It comes while you explore, while you read, you walk, you meet people, you give, and you do all sorts of things. And then you pay attention to how you feel while you do each of those things. And I won't explain the process again. I think you get it by now. Another key point here, I've been talking about purpose and work in my examples, but that applies to studies, to relationships, and all the stuff that actually matters to you. If you're in a relationship, well, how do you feel about yourself being in that same relationship in 5 years? Does it bring the best out of you, or do you feel trapped? You're wondering how you'll even manage to deal with that person in 5 years. Does that feel draining or heavy, or do you feel amazing, like you can't wait? If you're studying, same. How do you feel about what you're doing right now? How do you feel about working in a field that relates to what you're studying? Are you thinking, well, this sounds so exciting, I can't wait, I'm going to do my best to get there, and so on? Or are you thinking, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. And don't get me wrong, doubt is permitted, but it's different when it's linked to some sort of negative energy. What I'm saying is following that kind of process, if I can call it like that, triggers the start of decisions for you to make, and you will naturally start paying attention to stuff you're not paying attention before. Whenever you feel some sort of resistance, it probably means it's not the right thing for you. Energy doesn't lie. Go where your energy goes. Follow it. I truly believe in that. It will change 100%, but that's what we're supposed to do. Life moves and we move with it. And that's fine. And I'm going to leave you with this. That will be it for this episode. That's a pretty interesting thing for me to talk about, honestly, because that's how I felt.